Hello people, Raz here. In my local friend group I'm known for building rather powerful budget decks. Today I will show you one of these. It's one of my favorites and I call it Prototype Omega. It might not be able to keep up with the other decks like Faria, or just barely, but it can still be a very strong deck if you play it right. First of all, the ruler is Machina, of course. Stranger 10, like most other rulers this cluster. He's a human and green and blue. His judgment is 2 blue and 1 green, and whenever a regalia enters the field he chooses 1. And when the regalia is his specific regalia you choose 2, like all the other rulers in this cluster, except Magna. The modes are you get a stranger or you play 0 judgment. These are common among all 6 of the first rulers. Then the different modes on him are put 5 +1/+1 counters on a Maribel Type 0 you control, or put 2 200/200 machine resonator tokens into the field. The J ruler side of him is Machina, a 12/12 7 kings machine with Pierce, and this card gains plus 1000/1000 as long as you control a resonator named Maribel Type 0. And his God's Art update is for 1 green and 1 blue. You put 10 +1/+1 counter on a Maribel Type 0 card you control and get a random stranger into your hand. Then first of all we're going to go through this alphabetically, yes. We play 2 Buster Rifles because this card is more or less busted in this deck. It gives Maribel Type 0 cards you control Pierce, and it can tap to get target J Resonator you control +4/+0 until end of turn. That is rather strong since you play a lot of small stuff and buffing one of them can sometimes win you the game. As well as the second effect is tap Banish a Machine Resonator. This card deals damage equal to the Banished Resonator's attack to target J Resonator. Play this ability only if you control Maribel Type 0. Most of the time you control Maribel Type 0 in this deck, since you search her with one other specific card mostly, or have it in your hand just regularly. This ability is kind of good, but kind of bad as well, since you don't run a lot of that powerful machines with high stats. Then another 2 of Leginis, the City of Science, a 1-cost machine edition, as like the other one, that says enter, draw a card. Whenever you do Judgment of a Ruler, remove this card from the game, and you may reveal a Leginis, the Mechanical City, from outside the game and put it into the field. As long as this card is in your removed area, you may pay 0 to play activate abilities of cards named Leginis, the Mechanical City you control. Then a 3-off is the Linked Battle Robot, sometimes overlooked, rather seldomly in recent days, since he is a very powerful 3-cost machine. For 2 blue and 1 of any color, you get a 8/8 machine resonator that says as long as you control 3 or more machines, machine J resonators you control gain +200/+200. That's almost always active, if not you're doing something wrong with this deck. As long as you control 5 or more machines, this card gains flying. This is also always the case unless you're doing something very wrong with the deck. And as long as you control 7 or more machines, other machine J resonators you control gain the keyword abilities of this card. That should also be the norm. Then you play 2 Machine Lab of Leginis. It's a 2 void addition machine. Enter, put target machine with total cost of 2 or less from your graveyard into the field. You can use it to revive 2-cost machines, but most certainly it will just be Maribel Type 0 you revive with that. And since a machine, I rather play this than March of the Dead, since firstly, it sticks on the field, and secondly, this deck is a cluster-only list. And third, you can play that with your Regalia if you happen to meet the conditions. Then the first 4 off is Maria Bella, a staple in all Machina decks, of course, since she is a 2-cost 6/6 human machine for 1 green and 1 blue. She has the enter effect to search your deck for a machine, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. It's essentially a tutor for every edition, Regalia, or Resonator you play, except the Road of the Machine Lord, which is sadly not a machine. Then you could alternatively pay 1 blue and discard this card to search your deck for a card named Maribel Type 0, reveal it and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Also very good, since that's the card you will most likely fetch with her anyways, so yeah. Then you can remove her in your graveyard from the game and put a soul counter and a Maribel Type 0 you control. This may happen, but Maribel Type 0 is mostly a will protection Regalia in this deck, since, well, it's machines. Then Maria Bella's work. The only other card else than the Road to the Machine Lord that the Regalia cannot play if the road is out. Maria Bella's work, a 5-cost chant with quick cast, which draws you 2 cards, but you may pay 1 less to play this card for each machine you control. That should be the case all the time, so it's Pots of Greed from Yu-Gi-Oh! Then just 3 Maribel Type 0. I know it seems kind of weird, since it is most certainly the most important card in this deck, but it worked with 3, so I will keep it at 3. It's a Mythic Regalia, like all the other Regalia. It's a machine, the only Regalia with the subtype, by the way. For 1 blue and 1 green, you get a Regalia that says you J-rule against barrier. That's not good enough. The developers thought so. They also gave it the regular Sword Art, Stranger, and God's Art will production, and the effect of paying 0 and making her a 10/10 Resonator until end of turn, but only if there is a soul counter in this card. Yes. Could be your finisher, but you shouldn't really play on that win con. Then 3 Paratrooper of Legionus. It's a 5-cost 12/12 with flying, but you may pay 1 blue less for each machine you control, so it can go down to 1 green in the cost. Fairly cheap, and a good target for a spell that comes in later if you so happen to attack with it and it gets blocked or something like that. Then another 3 of Remote Control Beast. It's a 4-cost 8/8 machine beast. You may pay 1 less to play this card for each machine you control, so essentially it's a free 8/8 machine. Then 1 copy of the Remote Controlled Golem. It's a 10-cost 20/20 machine resonator, and you may pay 1 less to play this card for each machine you control, and it has Eternal, so this card cannot be destroyed. It's a 1-cost since you rather seldomly play him. Yeah. Then a 2 of Determination of the Machine Lord. It's a 2-cost Sword Art chant. For 1 green and 1 blue, you get a quick cast modal chant, which lets you choose between giving your field swiftness and +200/+200, or returning 2 machines you control to your hand, or to search your deck for 2 machines with total cost of 1 or less, put 1 into the field and the other one into the graveyard. Mostly you will use it to pump your field and give it swiftness. Then a 3 of the Road to the Machine Lord. Very important card in this deck, since it's a 1-cost which draws your Stranger, but that's not the important part. The important part is you may spend will produced by cards named Maribel Type 0 you control to play machines. Very good. Makes Ridiculous Chain usable that would be Maribel into Machine Lab or something like that. And you just draw a lot of exchanges and get a lot of tokens. A 3-off is Tune Up of Maribel, a 2-cost chant for 1 blue and 1 green. Sword Art, you get a quick cast modal chant, but if you don't control the Maribella Resonator, you choose one at random. It has 3 modes. The first mode is, in my opinion, the best one. You destroy a machine resonator you control and draw X cards, where X is the total cost of the resonator destroyed this way. Mostly you will destroy a remote controlled beast or a paratrooper with that to draw a lot of cards for relatively low cost. The other modes are put 6 plus 100 plus 100 counter on target machine resonator you control. In my opinion, the worst mode, since it's not really that useful to pump one thing in this deck. And the last one is to put a token copy of target machine resonator you control into the field. With Maribella in the field, this is a great mode to choose since you can copy her and get the anti-trigger another time. So you just probably play her again, basically. 3 copies of Twin Robots, since we need something 1-drop resonator typey. So it's a 1-cost 2/2 machine that enters 2 times, basically, since it puts a copy of itself into the field, but without the enter trigger. Then a 3-off Ultimate Shield, since you really need your Maribel to stick on the field. It's a 1-cost machine addition. Cards named Maribel type 0 you control gain barrier. That is very good. Also, target J resonator you control gains +4 defense until end of turn. Could potentially save stuff. And the most important part, except the barrier of course, is prevent all damage that would be dealt to target machine resonator until end of turn. Play this ability only if you control Maribel type 0. That is good against this pesky Drain or Bane stuff from Dark Elves especially. Or other rulers, certain things. Then 4 Ataraxia's Memoria since it's blue-green, 4 Deepwood Stones since it's blue-green, and 2 Water Magic Stones since this deck is basically a blue deck. Then for the Strangers, 2 Healing Gimmicks since it's a 0-cost machine with 2/6, and you can banish it to gain 10 life and draw a card. And also, because your ruler is a Machina, you can pay a blue and a green and remove a machine in your graveyard from the game to put this card from your graveyard into your hand. Yes. Then a 2-off Mirage Golem. It's a 1-drop machine, again, like most machines in this deck. It's a 7/7 with quick cast, and whenever this card blocks, recover it, and it gains +10 defense until end of turn. This ability only triggers once per turn. And for 1 blue you can give it flying, and for 1 green you can give it barrier. Kind of a niche, but it's a machine, so I'll take it. The next 2-off is the Princess of the Dragon Palace. It's a 1-cost 6/6 deity, and when it's put into a graveyard from the field, you may return target resonator to its owner's hand. That can be useful to get rid of stuff from the opponent if he attacks and you get rid of his other attacker, or if you want to save his stuff, your own stuff, so the opponent attacks with something with Pierce because he's playing Malgus, you block with her, she dies, and you return the thing that he attacked with Pierce into your hand. And for 1 blue and discarding this card, you can draw a card. Also very good. And whenever a resonator with total cost of 3 or more enters the field under your control, you may put this card from your graveyard into the field. Since most of the resonators in this deck are costs of 3 or more, this is a very strong effect on her. Especially since the most 3 or more costs are free. Then 2 Freya, Royal Guardian Palace Mage. She's a 2-drop 7/7 with quick casts and a wizard. For 1 blue and 1 green, you get her enter ability that says you may change all targets of target spell or ability that only has that has one or more targets. So like the opponent wants to kill your stuff with a bloody break, and you say no, you. She's the Uno reverse card in Force of Will. Then 2 Twin Swords of Water's Mercy, since sometimes you need to get rid of blockers or attackers. Very simple, a 1 blue 6/6 Swordsman Resonator with quick cast and enter, put target Resonator on top of its owner's deck. Yeah, also very good against Machina, as probably some of you saw in the match. Then to the sideboard, 3 of a Present of Machina, since it's a sword art 1-cost quick cast spell which draws you a card, and if you control Maria Bella, you get a stranger into your hand. Fairly good, since you mostly control Maria Bella. If you play against something that lets you do stuff or discards your stuff, then you play this card. Then a 2 of Legionist, the Mechanical City, since you play 2 of the edition that puts this in from your side deck. Also a very good card, since it's a 2-cost machine that says machines you control gain +2/+2, and for 0 and tap, since the edition, the other one, says you can pay 0 for it. So for just tapping this edition, target Resonator loses flying, first strike, pierce, or precision until end of turn, and if it does, another target Resonator gains that ability. So you take away first strike from, I don't know, your opponent's Artemis and give it to your Linked Battle Robots. Now your entire board has first strike. Or you take away the PS from your own Maribel Type 0 and give it to the Linked Battle Robot, and now your entire field is PS. A very good card. Then a 2 of Sniper Robot. It's a 2-cost machine, 6/6. Enter, you may rest X recovered machines, machine resonators you control, where X is the total cost of target resonator. If you do so, destroy it. Gets rid of 1-drops and tokens. Fairly okay, you can take that out if you want to. And then a 3 of Suppression Order, a 1-cost sword art, quick cast. As an additional cost to play this card, you reveal a machine resonator from your hand. This card deals damage equal to the resonators, to the revealed resonators RTK to target J Resonator. If this card was awakened, choose a card from your stranger deck at random and put it into your hand. Yeah, that is only good with 2 cards in this deck, with the remote controlled Golem and with the Paratrooper. Thank you all for watching, if you watched that, and I will probably, I don't know, upload something later this week. Haven't decided yet when. A Wanderer match, by the way. Something non-competitive, since I don't really like competitive playing Force of Will. Anyway, have a nice day. Bye.